right. Welcome back to Fem Talk Tuesday, everybody. As usual, we have an amazing show for you. So, if you didn't catch the crypto conversation, part one, you want to make sure that you go back and watch that show with our beautiful guests, and we will introduce them very shortly. But we are doing crypto part two tonight. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring the ladies of Fem Talk in the room. It is Brandy the Disconnector.
Hi, hi,
Hey, hey, hey. And we have Shima Shishi Talks.
Hey, Fem Talkers.
Hey, hey. And we have Mimi Girl Bossed Up Melissa.
hi. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. So you all know how we start this show. Ooh, what do we have to talk about today?
Uh,
Fem Talk Hot Topic today. Now, listen, I'm going to put this out there before we even start this conversation because it is so good. And we want to make sure that we are not running this too long because we have our beautiful guests waiting backstage and we've got some good crypto conversation to get into. However, we could not let this go by without talking about it. So, if you are watching the news or paying attention to the news on your phone, you have to know by now about the shooting that happened in Buffalo, New York. So I want to start the conversation off just a little bit different because we already know that this was a hate crime,
mm-hmm.
right? And we can get into that, but there was no doubt about that. It was a hate crime. But I want to challenge this today because this particular young man decided that he was going to video this occurrence himself, his hate crime. He wanted to video himself and stream it on Twitch while doing it. Okay. I want to say, should there be due process, right? In this case, he put it out there himself. Like, this is guilty by admission, right? He put it out there all on his own. He videotaped it. It wasn't the police officer's camera. It wasn't an innocent bystander's camera. It was his camera and him streaming on Twitch himself. At that point, do you believe, ladies of Fem Talk and our guests backstage, do you believe that this is just guilty, right? I mean, at some point, we have to make people responsible for what they're doing. And he put it out there. It's guilty. Why is there due process in this particular case? So what do you guys think about that?
I think alleged my ass. That's what I think.
Right.
Right. They're skirting around it a lot.
Yeah.
If this was the case, if he chose to do this, and if it was premeditated, the guy was there a couple of weeks before that. He was visiting Buffalo. Mm-hmm. He knows it was heavily populated with Black people. Mm-hmm. That's why he chose that spot as among all the others.
Yeah.
And now, when you say the due process, are you meaning should there be no case, close, shut, go to jail, done?
Listen, because of the way things are today and the technology that we have right now, this is guilty because he put it out there. So I'm saying, no, that's it. It's a wrap. You get sentenced, period, right? Because this is you. You are admitting already that you blatantly shot 13 people and killed 10, right? So tell me what you think.
I don't know.
I think we need to take Mimi off mute.
I think so too. What? But I think we're at the point where this whole concept of this hate crime, once again, you know, what I found once again quite interesting that he walked out of the place alive. Mm-hmm. Once again, after killing so many people, you know, and once again, even how you saw them handling him very gently, very gently. Mm-hmm. You know, he was standing up. Mm-hmm. He was standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that bothered me once again because, you know, you go back to George Floyd, you go back to, you know, I could just keep on naming them. And, you know, and you know, let me add some of my family members who were drugged and thrown on top of police cars and pushed down to the ground. And the young boy who just got, who was fighting, and the two cops, they pulled the Caucasian child off gently, but they threw the black child who he was actually defending.
Right. In the mall. Yes.
In the mall.
Yeah.
They threw him down the ground.
Yeah.
The blatant bias that exists, and then you add, and that's why people will continue to do and really push the limit on hate crime, because what's going to happen to them?
Right.
What's going to happen?
Right.
What happened? They who's next?
Yeah.
It's bothersome.
Yeah.
It's bothersome.
Yeah.
Oh.
So ladies, listen, I know we could go on forever, and I will say this, I'm going to shameless plug here, right? Shameless plug. On the Whole Living Show, we will be talking about this in a little bit more detail. So whoever wants to join us, please come on, reach out to me, let me know, and we will go through this a little bit more in detail. But tonight, we are talking cryptocurrency. If you haven't heard about it, you need to make sure that you are listening in tonight. If you missed part one, again, I'm going to say it again, make sure that you go back and watch it, because there was so much information that was provided there. So Brandy, why don't you introduce our beautiful guests that are waiting backstage that gave us all that wonderful information last time and are here again to share once more?
Absolutely. First up, we have our beautiful sister queen, Lady Queen, also known as Shameka Senegal.
Yeah.
So she is a mother. She is a powerhouse in the crypto space. Right now, she's stacking them coins, making them plans, making them strategy. I will not be surprised in least when this child has billionaire status. So, and we also have Tammy Washington, de Sencion, who is also a powerhouse in the crypto space, but she is also a Forex trader as well. So amongst the investing side of things, Tammy has been an inspiration not only to myself over the years, but also is a mentor to our very own Lady Queen as well. So I'm excited to have her on tonight, because both of these ladies are very well versed in what's going on in the crypto space currently and what's coming up shortly. They got information, in case you're wondering, like what happened with that stablecoin situation that people lost like their entire life savings.
Yeah.
We're going to touch on that a little bit this fine evening, y'all. So stick around. It's going to get good.
Absolutely.
Welcome,
so
ladies.
Back.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome back. So if we could do like just a short recap of last time, because there was so much information that was provided. If you want to just give people the basics that you went through, you talked about having encrypted emails, you talked about cold wallets, you talked about blockchain. So if you could just give people just kind of a little summary before we get into part two.
Who wants to go? Me or you, Queen? I want to say first off, Tracy, y'all bring up a subject like y'all bring up, and it's like, oh, let's switch to. My heart is still racing.
I know.
But listen, I will definitely, watch that replay for tomorrow. But definitely, just understanding that money changes every 100 years. Like historically, history repeats itself. You look back, way back when they were bartering, then after that, then having, the gold and silver, then after that, then going to the paper dollar, understanding that the paper dollar has been around for 108, 109 years. Well, crypto's been out for those 8-9 years, right? So money changes every 100 years. The great thing about this opportunity, and the great thing, about even the time that we're living in right now, is the fact that a lot of our people have woken up. Right? They don't want. They're like, I don't want to be left out. Look, and not only in finances, but just with economic, economy issues, economic issues, and just realizing that I'm tired of sitting on the sideline. I'm tired of just sitting back and just going with the flow and believing that the bank has my best interest, believing that the government has my best interest. Like Michael Jackson said, all I want to say is they don't really care about us. But just realizing that. So I'm grateful that we are all starting to wake up, and I'm grateful, and it is such a privilege and an honor to help educate my people.
Yeah, and I want to say something because you mentioned something about the hot topic, right? And how we mentioned it so quickly. But even you giving this history and talking about, the things that we need to know to build ourselves up as a community and as a people, our presence needs to be felt. And that's the way it's going to be felt to mitigate the things that are happening right to us now, that Buffalo shooting and everything else that came before that. So I just wanted to put that out there too, because you just put me in the mind of that. We need to be stronger, and it has to be economically first.
It's that money piece, because a lot of people, we look back and what truly worked to start shifting things in the direction they should have went during civil rights era was the boycotts that started affecting certain people's money. That is like, hey, we're going broke. Y'all need to do something.
Right.
That's right.
Well, I think a big part of that is also helping each other grow, networking like this, because a lot of times people say, okay, well, I've heard it said before, I thank God that the conversation has kind of changed, but, see, that's why I don't work with Black folks. And that's what they say. But it's just saying, okay, if this wasn't work, if you see there's a problem, sis, let me talk to you, bro, let me talk to you. Because back when Black Wall Street was happening, this is what they help build each other's business. And a lot of times, maybe they're doing something they don't even realize that could affect their business. And so just helping each other grow and saying, listen, the space that you're in, even if we're in the same type of space, you're meant to do something amazing. Like I'm cheering you on and seriously cheering each other on. So, that is a big part of that.
Absolutely.
I must say thank you, ladies, because what you just said is it. Because after that conversation, I set up my accounts and I started. I made a total change financially, and I trusted the system for a long time. And I said, if I'm to your point, nobody tried to help me. Nobody tried to move me forward. But you ladies, and my sisters on FEM Talk, y'all got me to that level, and that's what we need is education. And once we get good education, we can now take the power back and put it in our own hands with and collectively do something. So I want to say thank you. I hope y'all are hearing that. For those out there, this is how we grow, and I'm excited because this is new for me. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, but no different than what I was doing before. I didn't
right.
So I'm ready. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I touch on something that Melissa mentioned the last conversation as well? And just ask the two of you what you think needs to happen there, because Melissa was talking about, the traditional 401ks, IRAs, which really don't get you anywhere. And I'm just going to put it like that. But what do you suggest for people to do? Say they want to move that money. What do you suggest that they do there?
Well, first of all, you got to figure out kind of what is your freedom number? Like, what does freedom look like for you? And freedom number for most people, that's retirement, right? Like, what does that actually look like? And then you got to start looking at what the options are, because there are a lot of options, crypto and non-crypto, that can really give you returns that you can see long term. And some of them that can even give you cash flow right now. And that's one of the things I love about crypto. There are platforms that you can put your money on that will go ahead and start giving you cash flow right now, and you can build for retirement. So just like what I said, I think last time, was the number one thing is get educated. I was on a call earlier this week, and we were talking about the fact that 401ks had dropped by I think it was something like 11%.
Yes.
And gracious. Well, how would people even know that information? Because most people don't even know where to go look to see their 401k. And I thought about that, and I was like, man, before I really got into investing and understanding things, I had no idea how to go look at my 401k. So those are the things that you want to start getting educated on. Go to your HR person and say, hey, I just got some questions. How do I go in and see what's actually happening? How do I go in and see what my money is invested in? And then when you see what your money is invested in, go research those companies, right? Go see where your money is and see if you actually agree with that's where you want to hold your money. Same thing when it comes to cryptocurrency. You want to look at, okay, well, what are the platforms that are out there? What are the coins that are out there? And do I want to be in alignment with those things? And that will help you to start getting educated and understanding how to understand your own money.
That's so powerful.
That's so good. Yeah. And I'm gonna say, I'm one of those people with, that 401k, 403b, and you don't have no power where that money goes. They give you terms. The average person, they give you terms. Do you want aggressive? Do you want moderate? Or do you want like long term? They don't tell you what they're investing in. And just once a month you see the statement come and it goes up and down until your point there's no control over it. And when I thought about the whole, as you guys again were talking and I'm listening and I'm like, you know what? I'm already at risk over there. So how much more as I do my own research, as I'm following my own, the system, the market trends. That's another question I have for you guys. Like, what are the market trends now, especially after what just happened a couple of weeks ago? I want to, where are we? But if you at least control it, you have the ability to at least be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more. The risk is not as determined as you just said, 11% for the average 401k, 403b. That's a lot of money. And if you had a little bit more control of it, maybe that wouldn't have been your loss. So,
Well, and I think that whole 401k thing is like the black curtain or the Oz behind the curtain, because you feel like you can't control it. You don't tell them what to do with the investments. Right. A lot of people don't know that, like you said, not only do they not look and see what it's doing, you don't know that you can call and make those questions, ask those questions and make those demands. That's one of the darkest, I guess, secrets of the 401k. You can tell them that's not working. I know it may not be working for everyone because we've all lost, but let's talk about what's going to work better for me.
Right. And you can have them move your money, right? Like
exactly.
That. Yeah, that option is there. It's just like you said, they just don't.
I've been watching videos on YouTube, y'all. Did you know that this administration is actually pushing to make the 401k opt-in like mandatory? Like when you first start a job, you automatically get opted into a 401k. You're gonna have to let them know, like, I don't want the 401k.
Oh, we already do it. We do it in education. I don't know about other states. It's already done in New Jersey. You don't have an option. Your money, because they pissed away our money in the pension, so they can't afford to put anybody else in the pension, because the pension, according to calculations, is going to go broke soon. So now you are forced as a public employee in the state of New Jersey to go into what they call DCRP, which is a 401k, a 403b 401k, same thing. And you're forced to go into that.
Wow. And I used to actually work with HR in different companies because I was a training and development consultant. And one of the things that they would always say, and I do understand why they would say, because a lot of people would not invest their money otherwise. And this is actually a way of us protecting people. And so this is to make sure that they have some savings, because then if they don't, you have all these people who literally have worked and have no savings whatsoever. And so in that sense, I think I do understand why companies do it, but I think we as a people have to say, okay, I need to be empowered enough to where nobody has to make those kind of decisions for me. I should already have it in my mindset that I'm going to be investing my money, that I'm going to be saving my money. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't automatically have that. And so that's why they have those things in place. So I think it's kind of like we both have to kind of come to the middle of saying, okay, I need you guys to let us make our own decisions. And then they're like, okay, but we don't want to have a whole bunch of people that we're taking care of when they're 65 and save.
I think another thing to remember is 401k was not created for us. The 401k was created actually because of the fact is when they had the crash way back when, it was like, how do we get people to start investing again? Back in getting money back into the market. And so they create the 401k. And that's why I always say the government always does what's best for the government. Even another thing that was mentioned was the fact that now they're basically making you do that because they're trying to protect themselves. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you see on the news or on YouTube channels anywhere else where they talked about 401k dropping that much? No, because they want to taking
the channels I watch do, but I'm on a entirely different level of things on YouTube. Because same gentleman that was talking about that, he was talking about it was something crazy. I was like, what?
And that's the reason why you're also penalized, right? When you take it out before retirement age, because they don't be pulling that money out because the government is benefiting off of that money.
the government and those, to your point, and those that run those 401ks and those 403bs, they make good money off of our money. Good money off of our money.
Well, that again, that's our fault though, because the information is out there to learn the financial literacy levels necessary in order to move into cryptocurrency, in order to use cryptocurrency. Because right now, real estate is, oh my God. Right now, with the way that real estate is going, the only way to generate the kind of money necessary to get into real estate as an investment is to get into something like cryptocurrency or learn options trading. That's the fastest way to make enough money to be able to keep up with what's going on in that housing market in order to slide into real estate, because everybody knows real estate purchased correctly and under the right circumstances is one of the best investments that you can make in life. But cryptocurrency is going to be extremely important to that, because it's one of the things that are growing the fastest. There are actually coins coming out now that are backed by different commodities like hemp and energy and oxygen and water purification, all kinds of stuff. But in order to get into that, you need to learn the basics of cryptocurrency. Hence the reason for this conversation this fine evening. Absolutely. Not only the power of cryptocurrency, but what cryptocurrency looks like now versus what's going to look like in 20 years from now.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say what you were going to say. I'll ask the question when you're done.
No, definitely. That's why it's important to understand when you go to look at a cryptocurrency, the case usage, what problem are they trying to solve? Because even when you see people become famous or, something that's invented, whatever it might be, it solves a problem worldwide. And that's why it's so successful. So that is like one very, very important thing, even dealing with cryptocurrency is, okay, if I choose to buy into a crypto, what problem does it solve? Because I know, for a minute, Doge and Shiba Inu were popping off. But they had, and now don't get me wrong, they made a lot of people wealthy. They had no case usage, so it also caught a lot of people on the down, and they were like, "Man, I put in, and now I've lost like $400 or $500, $4,000 or $5,000. What do I do?" And it's kind of like, "Oh, well, you can either ride it out or cut your loss and get into something else, but not to stop." And even with my dad, when because he had tried investing before, he's a baby boomer, and he had tried investing before and had been burnt before, and because of that he had dusted his hands off. But because you learn about something, even when you're burnt, like, you want to still try to figure out what is the next thing you want to get involved in crypto. Well, crypto's like I said, crypto and NFTs, the next things, but like what you want to get involved with, because I'm telling you, that's going to help as much as possible close the wealth gap, help financially, because there was an article put out saying in the year 2050 that the Black net worth will be zero. And I was like, well, not on my end, because we're going to be straight. We gonna it's just trying to help tell people as much as possible, saying, hey, because only 10% of Blacks know about cryptocurrency and only 8% is invested. And there's a problem with that, once again, because our counterparts, it's 65% of them know about it, and 57% of them are invested. So once again, there's not opening up the eyes and not seeing what's going on.
Yeah. I like that you touched on that, sis, because a lot of people don't realize that, like, if you don't understand how cryptocurrency or how the financial situation currently is working, this might be a lot of people's generation's last chance for any type of upward mobility. If you don't line yourself up correctly now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
This goes back to you ladies are doing what we talk about, is training us to, like, we weren't trained financially as a people.
That's true.
We weren't trained to create the next generation's wealth, and now we have this opportunity, and we have to really understand that this is our opportunity to not just train. I'm that right after the baby boomers generation. You know what I'm saying? So it's now for this generation who's coming up, my son, my daughter, that they need to understand where their money should be, where it should go, so that they can, in 10 years, to your point, Brandy, be sitting on top of some wealth.
Yeah. And since you said that too, I think I mentioned this. I don't know where, but anyway, my son mentioned that he wanted to take a cryptocurrency class for the summer. Do you have suggestions on, he's 15, so if he gets started now, no telling where he can go with this, but do you have any suggestions on where I can, place him so that he gets the right information? Huh?
And so, I do.
Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very important. Not only, family, understand there's over like 12,000 cryptocurrencies. Like there's over 12,000. And there's so much you can learn about, but it's also learning how to, another thing that I believe we weren't taught about, making sure you're diversified in a lot of different things. Like I bring up scripture all the time where in book of Ecclesiastes it says, cast your bread on many waters, 7 or 8, never know where it's going to return. So it's just being, definitely, finding projects that you like, whether it be investing in. Now you still need to invest in gold and silver. Like I said, that's God's money. I believe that's still going to do some things. So investing in those type of things, cryptocurrencies, hedge funds, Tammy and I both. Well, actually, Tammy found it. See, that's my sis up there. Y'all, that's my girl. But just getting invested in different things where you can have where you can actually have those conversations like the Rothschilds, and where they sit down at the beginning of the year and say, or at the end of the year for the next year and say, hey, this is what we're looking into doing with our money. We're going to hire this individual to go find this out. We're going to do this, and we're going to place our money because money needs to work for you. We've been taught graduating from school, everybody, we've been taught hard for your money. So we are taught our money how to work hard for us. Everything reproduced after itself. Why is our money not reproducing after us? For us, why is it not reproducing for us? The black dollar stays in our community for maybe, I think it was 7 minutes or 7 seconds, something like that.
Yeah.
So just really washing our mind of what happened back in the day as far as how they dealt with finance. Say, you know what, I need to learn from this and say, you know what, there is a new way, of finance. And like Brandy said, Tracy, just to answer your question, yes, there are. You definitely want to get your children in learning about cryptocurrency and learning about about crypto miners, because I plug a device into my wall and it's making money for me. Like that's it. I plug it into my wall. It's making money for me.
You talked about that last time.
Yes,
yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's multiple streams of income, like passive income. I'm talking about living on the beach, like living on the beach.
So I guess I need a follow-up privately with you guys on that one, because I need to get him started this summer for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let us all know, because I would love to, I would love to. I have a couple of people ask me how to go about this because they heard what we were doing on FEM Talk. So ladies, let's do this. Have a class going, because that's how we're gonna learn. I love how you said the Rothschilds, and how they sit around and they talk about investments, and that's what we have to start doing, is teaching our children and our generations how to go about this. And I love that multiple streams of income, because it should be different things. It should be, Brandy talked about land. There's not one thing that's not going to grow is land. It's actually is diminishing if you look at the water levels around the world. So land, but there's investments, there's things to make, how to have the money work for us. And I love it, because education is going to bring us to the next level.
Well, shameless plug, because Tammy, Tammy's a boss queen, but Tammy does have a investment group. So shameless plug.
Yeah.
So definitely we will get you the information, because that's what we want to do. We want to help empower people to become financially free, to really realize, what money is changing, and things we really just need to pay attention. So
absolutely.
All right. So we are going to go into our very wonderful Brandy the Disconnector segment right now. We're going to just put a pin in this for a minute and allow her to share her great information. And then we're going to come back and we're going to continue this crypto conversation. All right, everybody. We're going to do a commercial first, though.
What's up, everybody? Brandy the Disconnected in the house. And today for my Tech Connect moments, I'm going to share something that's simple, but like, how did you even come up with that? Because, okay, my husband is a hot mess when it comes to keeping his shoes clean, okay? So I had to find me a solution, y'all, because I hate brushing the dang shoes with a toothbrush, right? So I dropped the link in the comments a little bit earlier, and y'all probably clicked on it like, what the heck? Okay, so I got a brush set to put on my drill. This seems crazy, but I'm going to tell you what. This works a lot faster than a toothbrush. Oh my gosh. And my husband's shoes look absolutely amazing. So y'all know that we love Chucks in this house. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And his Chucks look absolutely marvelous. It's a low-tech suggestion for a high irritation issue to me. It makes my eye twitch. I love it when I buy my husband new shoes, and then I hate it when I turn around 3 weeks later and they're a hot mess. So that's the solution that I found to that. And on top of that, I want to share just one other quick thing, because myself and Tracy were a part of a cryptocurrency training boot camp. This, scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now, is a link that'll take you to this boot camp. You can either pay the $97 for VIP, or you can actually use the link and join for free. The only thing is you don't get to come in on the Zoom side and actually ask questions and stuff, but you can still get all the same information that we got. We got information from how Bitcoin came to be, to the types of wallets to be getting into, what to look for when you're looking at a coin. All kinds of amazing stuff was shared in that 1 week boot camp. The next one is actually going to begin on the 23rd. That is next Monday. And it's going to go through the whole week, every evening for 1 hour. So check that out if you really want to get into that crypto space and learn like where crypto started, what's the blockchain, how these wallets work, what kind of coins to look at. You'll learn all that and a lot more in this. Even I've been in the crypto space for about 4 or 5 years now, and I learned new stuff during this 1 week boot camp, to the point that I signed up for everything that I can. I'm not saying be like me, but I'm saying it's hard to find people that you can trust to teach you the information that you need to succeed in this space. This is something that I found and I trust. So with that, that is my segment for this evening, y'all. I hope you got a laugh out of my new tool. And back to our regularly programmed schedule.
Yay, I like that little device, Brandy.
Girl, oh my God. I love getting my husband new shoes, but I hate cleaning them jokers. I was like, there's got to be a better way. So that's the solution that I found.
Love that. Absolutely love it. So we are back to talk about crypto, and we were talking about crypto education.
Right.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Tammy's investment class or group, which I guess education happens inside of that group. So how do we get connected?
Yeah, so for those of you guys who are more interested in learning about what we do, you can always reach out to us directly. It is a private group.
Okay.
It is a private group for our investors, and that's where we actually share wealth secrets. We share different things about different cryptocurrencies. Excuse me, I'm getting tied up. So if you are interested in learning more about that investment group, you can always just reach out to me or Lady Queen. We're always happy to work with new investors.
All right. All right. So you heard it. You heard it, everybody. You heard it out there. So, all right. So, what else do we need to know about crypto?
I really believe that, just to calm everyone's nerves, it's okay. Okay. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. I know the crypto's doing, some crazy things. And I just want you to look at it this way. Let's just say things were on sale at whatever stores you may like, whether it be Dillard's, Macy's, even Walmart, Wally World. If you see something on sale, you like, you know what? I need to get some. I need to tell this individual to get some and stack up, because it does not change the fact. Understand the market does breathe. This happens. This has happened before,
Right.
So I want to be prepared for the next happening, where crypto takes off again. And so right now it's a prime opportunity for people to invest and, to get invested in crypto, currency. Don't put yourself all over the place. Get a few tokens, and make sure, I have a few favorite, and I'm sure Tammy has a few favorite, that she likes, but, make sure that you just basically grab a couple of tokens, some of my favorites just to, talk. Of course, number one is XRP that I always talk about. XLM, OMI is another one that I talk about, ABA, and probably Theta. Those will probably be my 5 right now. So those are my top 5. But yeah, just get you a couple of projects and, just sit on them. It's definitely, there was a saying that we've learned: patience pays. You don't spell, you spell with PAY. Patience pays. So like take that and then you just store it away. If you're the type of person that want to look at it every day, you can. You might drive yourself a little crazy. Just put it away and say, I'm just waiting for you. You're like, do something today. It's today the day. It's today the day.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, just take it and store it away, and then just allow it to grow. You know how like no one probably checks on their 401k every day, do y'all? No. Yeah. So it's something like that. This is, it's something like that. Like, hey, we're going to buy because we know later on down the road, it will definitely be able to financially sustain, my lifestyle and then my children's lifestyle. So you just take crypto and then you just, put it aside and you stow it away, because it will be back up. This has happened many times before. I think at one point, when Bitcoin first started to take off, it went from like 300 all the way down to $2. I wish I would have been awoke then, because I still would have bought a few. But yeah, so just know that it happens and it retraces like that, and then it's gonna go back up. It's just patience pays.
So,
If I could add
can
something
you?
too,
Oh yeah.
I was going to say too, for all the people who are new to crypto or even investing, don't be afraid to dollar cost average. And what that means is that when you pick a certain coin that you want to be involved with, you could buy a little bit every week. And so, yeah, the price is going to change. Some days you're going to get a better deal than others, but over the average length of the time that you're actually buying, it's going to come out to be beneficial to you. So I highly recommend, for some people who are like, well, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. Okay, put a little bit in, and just every week, just make sure that you're investing.
That's good. That's so good. Because I was
said that.
Yeah. And I was going to ask, just talk to people a little bit about when to buy and when to sell, right? Of course, people want to buy low and sell high, right? Because they want to make a handsome profit off of it. But just talk to people about that. But I love that you mentioned, do little bits at a time instead of having to go feeling like you have to put some large amount on from the beginning.
Ooh, can I touch on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
So something that I found out recently, again through this boot camp, is like you can buy and sell if you want to, or you can buy, stake, and live off the proceeds.
Hello.
You gotta decide what route of things you want to do, because eventually, I believe cryptocurrency is going to take over what we know to be money right now, the paper money and everything, which means if you're not the person benefiting from the interest, you're the one getting got.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
100%.
think about it.
Yep.
There are major things happening right now. Oh my god! Oh my god! Just get into that boot camp. That's all I got to say. Oh my god, my mind was blown.
Yes, there are a lot of platforms where you can actually stake right now. And so I have mine on several. So a lot of people think, oh, well, just because, the markets are crashing, you guys are all losing money. No, not necessarily. Some of us are getting interest weekly, daily on our money from being on the right platforms. And so that's what you got to get educated about. And so, yeah, we'll help you with that. Absolutely.
And I think a really big thing also to remember, because a lot of, just coming from a place of what my family members just saying, like, I don't understand it, like, and they're a little skeptical, but we always bring up, when we do presentations, we always bring up the fact when Bitcoin was worth 8 cents back in 2009, and how you could have taken 1 quarter and had 3 Bitcoin in the high of November, you could have actually had multiple 6 figures. I believe it was over 200K. And I said, so you have to, and that was facts, so it isn't thing that, or are you sure, we don't know about, no, that was facts. So now other opportunities come up, we just have to be really ready to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of this because I can stake, even if it's like a stable coin, like the USDC or the Tether or the DAI, you can actually stake those and gain percentage. Some are months, some are years. There's other projects that that Tammy and I have been involved in. I believe Brandy also, where you can get 3 to 4%, well, up to 4%, a day in a week. Like, it's just opening up your eyes to these opportunities because they are out there. They are out there. And so you don't have to be fearful, that you can get involved and say, okay, I'm not going to basically take my whole life savings and say, throw it at it and say, okay, I hope, we keep our fingers crossed. But, daily cost average, as Tammy said, or, take a little sum of that. We've had people in our community that have taken a piece of their 401k and put it into certain cryptos and been able to multiply that 10 times plus, So it's just saying, you know what, I am going to take, how they say, great risk, great reward. I am going to take, because all crypto, all, investment is a risk, but it's just knowing which ones to invest in so that, you can reap the benefits and the reward. So so definitely just, like whenever you start off, and this is just whenever you're starting off with crypto. I know we talked about getting the Proton email because you want to make sure your assets are secure in the platforms you buy on. But even the platforms you are buying on, like, is it a know your customer? Like, so KYC, is it a know your customer? Or is it something that I can kind of do it, in privacy, really? Because remember, wallets have no names; they just have numbers and letters. So they aren't, it isn't Shameka's wallet. It's 3544, just 30 letters and numbers. So when you start investing and you never want to leave it, of course, on a platform, and you want to put it into these wallets like Exodus wallet, where it's one place where you can stake. What Brandy was talking about, the Exodus wallet, or maybe you want to stow it away for years to come. Put it in the ledger, or Tezo, whichever one you choose, or Trust Wallet, whichever one you choose. Yes, ma'am.
I want to shed a light on 2 things. Well, ask a question, shed a light. I got a text message, and I say that because my phone is off, and of course I'm chatting with everyone. But I'm shining a light on the fact that there's fear, not in the investment, but in not knowing and afraid to ask. So they didn't put in the chat, and I'm not blowing you up, but I am saying they're asking, what is staking? What does it mean, and how do you do it? And for you to reiterate, this is exactly what you're trying to mitigate. We want you to have the knowledge. We don't want you to be afraid to ask for the knowledge. This is how you have that generational wealth or build that generational wealth, because somebody's not telling us or didn't tell us. And we're letting you know.
That's our greatest obstacle as a people.
It
Pride. Our pride.
Yeah.
As soon as we can put that pride down and not be afraid to ask questions and stop tearing each other down when certain people don't know stuff, the sooner we can lockstep and get moving the way we're supposed to be going. But the other thing that I remember that I learned recently is that some companies that offer 401ks are now offering the option to invest up to 20% of your 401k proceeds to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
So,
but there's a I was gonna say there's a but in there, right? Because that control that we talked about earlier, right? That goes with that 401k. Like, why?
It's not your crypto. You, in that instance, you would be getting money based off of the interest that they make off of owning the actual asset.
Right.
FYI.
So yeah, why go that route when you're getting the education right here and can connect to, Lady Queen and Tammy to be able to do it on your own? Yeah,
exactly. But the reason why I bring it up is because you got to understand what you're actually investing in. Because if you don't own the wallet, if you don't own the asset, you are just hopefully benefiting off of interest being thrown off of the person or a company that does actually own the asset.
Yeah.
So be aware of what that actually means. If you're like, oh, this is available, I want that. Just know what it is.
Yeah. And Shima, to answer, the question that was kind of brought out, staking basically is saying, how the bank will say, hey, if you leave your money in the savings account, we'll give you 0.01%. Well, staking, and I know ADA is one that always sticks out, like in the Exodus wallet, because they give like 4.3% a month. So which means like if you tell Exodus wallet, hey, I'm going to stake my crypto here, for I think a 28-day period, 26 or 28-day period, they're saying, hey, we'll give you this amount every single time. So when you stake it, you let it sit there on their platform, and they give you an interest payment more than you would get with any bank. And a lot of platforms do it. Brandy talked about, even making sure that you own the wallet. Like, a lot of, I know back in the day, because Robinhood has been robbing the hood, but they're trying to make it right though, y'all. They trying to make it right, because I heard recently, I did a YouTube video. I was like, for right now you can't, but actually they have purchased Bitcoin and they're allowing people to move it off into an external wallet now, from what I hear. So
they're creating their own wallets now.
Yeah. I don't know, because Robin could be Robin.
No, I just got a message today. Like, you're invited to apply for a crypto wallet on Robinhood. It's like, no, the hell I'm not.
Yeah. And so, it's just, so to see more and more people, especially like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett recently purchased, well, he was already doing things on the back end because he invested in one of the world's biggest banks that was dealing with XRP. So he was doing things on the back end, but now to see, them say now he's purchasing Bitcoin, things like that, you really have to watch what the wealthy do. Don't listen to what they say, because they will tell you whatever. Watch what they do, and they're making moves. And and they do it quietly. They do it quietly. They don't tell everybody. Look, we want our people like
we need to learn that too.
Yeah.
Shut up and do it.
Listen, I don't want to shut up and do it, but listen, I want to make sure that song "Stand Up and Take My People With Me." I forgot that was played on here. Like that is like an anthem for me.
That's right.
I seriously want to impact. Who put my name? I seriously want to.
That's your other sister queen.
Yeah, I seriously want to impact my community. I want to, of all things, be a philanthropist and help the next sister queen, the young one that's coming out of high school, and she's told, go to school, get a job, and work that for 40 years to make someone else rich. And it's not going to, like, I want to help impact individuals like that. And so that's why I'm doing what I do to help, impact a community where we no longer have to be the bottom of the barrel when it comes to finances and learning about finances, because, I just, just seeing the value in us, and saying, you know what, we need to take it back and learn from when they did the Black Wall Street, with Black Wall Street, teaching each other, learning about finance, learning about nutrition. Like they did all of those things. And so I'm happy to see that come back now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Amen. Amen.
Right.
So if you both could give us, some final words, we're about, a little less than 10 minutes in, right? Or about 8 minutes. If you could give us final words, for people out there, what do they need to do right now, today? What can they do tonight, this evening?
What's that first step?
Yeah.
I would say if I had to do three things, number one would be become educated.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important. But make sure you're getting educated in the right place. Because things change very quickly. But just make sure you're getting educated. Number two would be buy XRP. Yeah, number two, no, but no, definitely buy XRP. And then the third thing is just make sure you are taking the secure measures. Don't keep your wallet and your cryptocurrency in your cell phones. Because I had an individual reach out to me, and well, she was emailing me, and I check my email pretty regularly, and she was like, please, I need you to call me. And I'm like, hey, okay, cool, what's up? And she's like, my crypto's disappearing. I was like, what do you mean? She said, I'm watching it leave from my cell phone right now. And I was like, sweetheart, I talked about this a lot. I'm like, you need, number one, you need to go to your phone carrier right now, disconnect your SIM card, because they basically had went to her phone carrier, got her SIM card, and then they put it in their phone. So everything that was on her phone now is on their phone.
Wow.
And they're moving her crypto. I think they got about 17,000. They left her with 7,000. And but she was able to at least kind of get some of it versus losing the whole thing. So it's making sure that you are being safe in these crypto spaces. Don't put it on your phone, keep it on your desktop that doesn't travel around with you, and just be safe. Learn the safety measures that you need to learn. And then you can always reach out to your girls. My website is www.ladyqueen.digital. And I would be more than happy to help you, even if you decide that you want to learn more about different ways you can make money, to be able to help you with that also.
Love it.
Oh, one too many A's.
Right.
The tab.
We got somebody in the audience singing your praise.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. What about you, Tammy?
I just piggyback off of every amazing thing Lady Queen said. But I would think one thing I would say is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Most of the things that we fear, simply walking up to that fear and asking questions will open up so many doors. Everything seems overwhelming when you don't understand it. So the easiest way to get past the feeling of, oh my God, I don't understand this, I don't know about this, is to take a baby step and to go ahead and start getting educated for yourself. Okay. And there's so many resources out there. You guys talked about some resources tonight. Definitely go to Lady Queen's page. Like there's so many things out there where you can at least get into the habit of learning every single day something new when it comes to your crypto journey. So don't be afraid of it. Get educated. And I think that's a great place for each and every person to start.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the things resource-wise that I use to continue my education, other than what's going on with the ILCA Academy, is CoinGecko. CoinGecko has so many different news stories and things on it. It shows you what the market is worth, and like across the board for all cryptocurrencies that are currently being tracked. It lets you know how many exchanges there are. Like there is so much information on CoinGecko.com. If you're looking for a place to just simply start learning like the different terms and stuff, that's where I would suggest that you start if you're not starting with somebody that is familiar with how things work, like Lady Queen and Tammy. So yeah, there are so many places that you can go to get legitimate information. Like Tammy and Lady Queen said, do not be afraid of this. We're not afraid of the dollars that we spend currently, and this is just the next level dollar. That's it. So get versed with it. The same way you know about the American dollar, learn about the Australian dollar, learn about the euro, learn about the yen. There's so many different currencies to learn about, and cryptocurrency is no different.
That's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We got quiet because everybody's wheels are turning.
Right.
I'm
laughing because Lady Queen over there dancing to her own song in her head.
I get happy when we talk about the new finance. I'm telling you, like I tell Tammy that we gonna set some people free. I keep telling her over, like we talk to each other like every day, and I'm like, sis, we gonna set some people free. We are seriously gonna help set some people free because that's what it is. Just educate yourself. Educate yourself. Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
Greatly appreciate all that information. I know I do. You know, this brain soaks it up. I'm listening.
Oh, most definitely. I want to alert people to the fact now that this Fem Talk merch is available. This is the new shirt right here, and I created it. I'm in love with it.
Tammy, you were on earlier when I was saying what I needed to do to, advertise the shirt a little better, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm be good.
You got your Fem Talk on, Shima? Show us that Fem Talk.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm gonna have to bring attention to it by exposing the shirt. On a regular basis.
Go ahead, Fem Talk.
I know this is an evening show, but it's not quite that late. It's not quite that late.
Yeah, baby's still awake, y'all. The baby's still awake.
Right. It's not late.
My Fem Talk Tumblr.
That's right.
Look, and your mom is watching. Your mom is watching.
Right. She already know. She's used to it. She probably gonna say, "Stop showing the people you do all that stuff all the time."
This is
so, guys. Yes, if you caught us live this evening, fantastic. If you're catching us via replay, be sure to drop your questions in the comments for Lady Queen, for Tammy Washington de Sencion, for myself, for Tracy, Shima, Melissa, because all of us might be at different levels within the crypto space, but all of us are moving into the crypto space.
Absolutely.
6 out of 6 agree. Learn it. It's important.
Absolutely. So this has been another episode of Fem Talk. Catch us next Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know where you can find us: Amazon, Fire Stick, Roku, Android TV, Apple TV, and the E360 TV app, y'all.
That's right.
Later.
Bye.